Hello, once again, this is John. I am broadcasting from Melbourne, and this morning it is a great morning, and the sun is out, the temperature is pretty cool. There has been a lot of development in the financial world of late, and even right now, the United Nations and the IMF and the World Bank, they are already uh, very much awake and paying a lot of attention to the event of cryptocurrencies that have been coming into the world. I would like to take us to um, the opinions of the managing director of the IMF, which is Christine Lagarde. She wrote to us, or she wrote in her blog when she was addressing the dark side of crypto. She raised this question: how cryptocurrency would enable financial inclusion in the world of finance today. In her blog, she wrote, the technology behind these assets, which is the blockchain and the cryptocurrencies, is an exciting advancement that could help revolutionize fields beyond finance. It could, for example, power financial inclusion by providing new, low-cost payment methods to those who lack bank accounts, and in the process, empower millions in low-income countries. So IMF has at last realized the importance of cryptocurrencies and the opportunities that it is providing for financial services, especially uh, coming down to the lowest uh, level of society. Now, the United Nations also said charitable organizations are also driving change. A multi-stakeholder collaboration between member states, civil society, the private sector, the scientific community. United Nations entitles, uh, United Nations entities and other stakeholders will adopt and review their financial inclusion strategies. That means to say they are looking at cooperatives through their microfinance services are able to reach the moderate, vulnerable, and part of the extreme poor, whereas the usual commercial banks would only be able to target the non-poor and the wealthy clients. So United Nations also recognizes that an alternative financial system, which is the cryptocurrency, would be able to service the community and the people where the commercial banks cannot. Commercial banks are reaching out and dealing with massive transfers of liquid cash, whereas cryptocurrency can be used to transact even to the lowest denomination or the smallest denomination. Financial technology and digital financial services are revolutionizing the way customers access and use financial services, opening the way for banks, insurance companies, payment companies, and other financial institutes to serve millions of unserved uh, customers. Yet globally, there are still 2 billion people who are unbanked and at least 1 billion more who have an account but seldom use it because they don't have that cash flow to service it. So, although there has been major progress with financial inclusion in the last 5 years, with a substantial reduction of the unbanked population from 2.2 billion to 1.7 billion. The reality is that blockchain has not yet played a major role. It has been because of the smart uh, fintech such as M-Pesa and WeChat. So blockchain has not been employed so far to reach out to the poor and the lower middle class. So far, the majority of blockchain solutions in the market have involved static transactional currency exchange with nothing to enhance or provide an experience. Overall, financial inclusion demands more innovation, and so there are calls for reviews and action to effect change. The 2017 results suggest a need for the financial inclusion community to reconsider assumptions about, about the level of change. So most importantly, we will need to think critically about what drives usage and how financial services offer value to customers. So this is another statement by the Smart campaign. Current digital payments providers are led by M-Pesa. So M-Pesa has successfully implemented payment solutions in developing countries, particularly in Kenya, giving some solution to the unbanked. They did this as a straight digital play, moving their focus to transactional hotspots with no digital solution by essentially using airtime as a digital currency. In other words, they are employing, okay? Like for example, M-Pesa. M means mobile, Pesa is Swahili for money. So it is mobile money. M-Pesa means literally mobile money. It is a mobile phone-based money transfer, financing and microfinancing service launched in 2007 by Vodafone or Safaricom and Vodacom, which are the two largest network operators in Kenya and Tanzania. The report has come back, and the report says, the success of M-Pesa was ultimately about people management. It's not about technology. Um, Many innovation fails because management focus entirely on designing and launching a product. The true secret of M-Pesa's success is the management of the agent network, which grew from 300 initially to almost 30,000 today. Now imagine that it is only uh, having 30,000 users today, but it is already proclaimed as a great success. How much more would it impact the world if this similar system using digital and using the blockchain is propagated and expanded and introduced to the rest of the world? Now, great success because of just M-Pesa. Great success has been made. However, at least there are now another 1.7 billion people still remain unbanked. So, in other words, there are still 1.7 billion people, roughly about 20% of the world, who still have not been able to utilize any financial services or banking system. So, the World Bank Index Report in 2017 suggests, launched in 2011, it includes more than 100 financial inclusion indicators that allow worldwide comparison of adults' access to financial services, including by gender, age, and household income. The most common one was having too little money to use an account. So a lot of people in the world today are below the poverty line. They do not have a, a constant income. They do not have a salary. They are not working, and they don't have cash flow. So two-thirds of this, they cited that this is the main reason for not having a financial institution account. In other words, they cannot maintain a bank account and in some countries, they have what hefty service charges for operating bank account and on a monthly basis. So this would definitely be a negative effect on anyone who wants to open an account. And so, 1.7 billion people, the survey has indicated that this is the sole reason which has caused them not to open an account. The other effect is cost and distance were also cited by about a quarter of those responsible to the questions. Now, the main issue, or the rising issue, this rising issue has created a move towards collaboration. Uh, a symbiosis, traditional trade banking, fintechs, opcoms, and other companies. No doubt partly driven by the potential value of unlocking this marketplace highlighted in PwC's 2017 Global FinTech Report. In other words, now the financial sector in the world, they see a need, they see an opportunity to honor the group of people, this group of unbanked people, because there is a need for these people to have banking facilities, and there is also a need for there is an open opportunity for the financial sectors to earn more money. Now, mobile money services have proven to be an effective gateway to financial inclusion among the unbanked. So, as we have seen, M-Pesa is a well accepted form of financial uh, activity among the unbanked. They can just have a phone, and in fact, now the technology has improved so much that you can do banking on a digital watch as well, an intelligent watch. Not only the phone, but also an intelligent digital watch you can transact banking facilities. So this demographic would evolve into a US $3 trillion payment volume opportunity. In other words, the financial sector, the global financial sector, has already identified that there can be a massive $3 trillion program yearly, which would be able to enable and enhance the financial sectors to earn a percentage of the 3 trillion transaction on a daily basis. The World's FinTech Report in 2018 at a time when margins are under increasing pressures, operators and MVNOs are looking to recoup revenues through value-added services. So yes, all these institutions are affected in one area, especially in the area of margin trading. And now they are looking for new markets, new profit centers, new avenues of income for uh, their services. An area of offering growing potential is the technology enabled by the financial sector, which includes micropayment, loans, and even full banking services. Now, they know that the full banking services have not been fully exploited. have not been fully uh, uh, utilized. So digital payment providers clearly need to broaden their perspective and explore more ways to serve those excluded population. So what part is cryptocurrency set to play? Could play a large role in financial inclusion, bringing financial services to the poor, maybe more so than all the microfinance institutions together. So cryptocurrencies can bring a paradigm shift for the unbanked and bring forth a lot of technological, political change. So this is what the global financial institutions are already awakening. This is going to be a new paradigm shift, right? And this paradigm shift is that the unbanked people, the unbanked group in the world, the 20% of the world population that has no banking facilities, that has never done any banking transaction. Now, the cryptocurrencies, which can be decimal point, they present an opportunity for financial institutions to tap on the untapped market group and be able to earn profit from it. So Escudo is a new gateway between traditional financial system and the cryptocurrency market. In Escudo, we create a new financial ecosystem. So this is a new financial system that has been created. Our main goal is to create a single gate to the cryptocurrency market for new users, professional traders, investors, and financial institutes. So Excudo is an instrument that would that is designed and purpose to be a single gateway whereby cryptocurrencies market would be able to service new users, small users, big time users, professional traders, investors, and even financial institutes. So this is to cater for the $3 trillion market that is waiting to be plugged. The main benefits of crypto for those not so close to it include the low fees or no fees or zero fees, a decentralized global currency, and perhaps most importantly, cryptocurrency is accessible for everyone, everywhere. So it serves the purpose. Wherever uh, there is a need for transaction, whether it is in the remote region, whether it is in the semi-urban region, or even in the cities, cryptocurrency is available. Cryptocurrency is accessible for everyone who has a need for financial transaction. So what is in the horizon for us? What we are going to see is that cryptocurrency will become a product and a service system that will meet all the demands of a complex market, a meaningful ecosystem that delivers financial liquidity and opportunity to local markets on a global scale. So the perception, the perception and the acceptance of cryptocurrency is a huge factor in making cryptocurrency a part of our everyday life. In other words, we ourselves, the public, must have a paradigm shift. We must shift away from our fixed and traditional understanding of fiat currency. And we need to manage and change our perception to the new currency that is to be used in the new environment. Let's take, for example, in Papua New Guinea, the nation of Papua New Guinea, they have their own value system, which is they trade in shells, marine shells that they gather and they beat together as a cash chain. So in other words, it is like a bracelet, but instead of being made of gold, the bracelet or the chain is made of shells that the Papua New Guinean collect and they make turn into. So they have their own currency tender, which is using natural resources like shell. Okay, it can be also be another form of uh, metal, all right, like gold and silver or platinum. Now, removing the barrier is the first step, and giving users a very clear view of the benefits of the business is crucial. This is a worldwide opportunity, and knowing the potential to improve financial access for millions of underprivileged people in low-income countries only adds to the appeal of implementing and accepting cryptocurrency. So let us give access to crypto. Let us introduce it and get people to use and experiment with crypto. Become part of the community of users and agents and find ways to help people use and benefit. Now, this is exactly where we are now at the moment. We who are in the Billion Coin community, we have already uh, created and implemented our own cryptocurrency, which is the Billion Coin. And we are now getting people involved in the area of uh, bringing in new members, recruiting new members, sharing with new members. And we are now building and becoming a global BBC community of users and agents. And we are now helping other people to use and to benefit from the BBC coin. So the currency of the billion coin, the ethos that it presents, and the visions that it has definitely make a lot of sense and wisdom for the world to adopt. So right now, driving mass adoption is our most important objective in TBC. So we found a way to evolve and to develop capabilities beyond the norm. That is, we now engage with the world. We engage with the world through broadcasts. We engage with the world through our sharing and engage our world with the trading that has already been implemented in many, many countries. And it is now picking up speed. What we have seen is this. As TBC continues to engage, as TBC continues to educate, and as TBC continues to blend cryptocurrency into our everyday life, we are seeking to create comfort. We are seeking to create familiarity among mass market users via our peer-to-peer transactions. And to start with, we are using it on an individual basis. But now, as we continue to grow, and as more and more people understand accept and use the TBC coin. We are soon inviting corporations, we are inviting businesses to engage and adopt TBC as a legal tender for their businesses. So for a start, as I have mentioned, we already see in several countries that through the initiative of local leaders and members, trading networks have been successfully set up and thriving in these countries and communities. This is the original vision and the concept of TBC to raise the level of wealth and to create abundance among all people worldwide, especially among the poorer ethnic groups, as identified by an IMF and other global financial bodies. In the very beginning of our broadcast, we have seen that at last, IMF and global financial bodies recognize the importance and the need to build an alternative source of uh, legal tender from global market. What IMF and the financial bodies are now talking about, TBC has already implanted and it is well on our way to bring this vision of reality to maturity. So in other words, the vision of World Bank, the vision of IMF to utilize a new currency, the cryptocurrency, to benefit the poor, to benefit the financial sector. It is the same as what TBC's vision and mission is all about. We have seen the possibility, we have seen the need to provide abundance and to provide facilities for the poor ethnic groups globally, irrespective of where we are, whether we are in the north, whether in the south, whether we are in the deep jungle. Yes, literally in the deep jungle and in the undeveloped areas of Papua New Guinea, South Asia, Africa, South America, even in those remote villages, TBC has already penetrated. TBC shops has already been set up. TBC community have already been uh, building and sprouting up, and we are seeing strong support. We are seeing strong support among all our members, and we want to thank admin, we want to thank the global leaders, we want to thank the national leaders for spearheading this advance, for spearheading this growth throughout the world and also throughout the countries that are in the world. So in a short time of 2 years plus, slightly uh, just over 2 years, we started in March 2016 and now it is July 2018. So in other words, in the one third of a year, 2 years, 4 months, TBC has grown from zero to 3.2 over million members. And if each and every member is to respond to the call to promote TBC, each and every member were to do whatever that we need to do. That is to say, we go and share it with our friends. We go and share it with our family members. And as what admin has said, let us even sign up all our family members, even including babies. And let us continue to share this vision and this mission that TBC has launched, that TBC has laid out, not only for a select few, but for every people in the world today. Wherever we are, whoever we are, whatever language that we speak in, doesn't matter what level of education we have acquired or what level of education we have not acquired. TBC is easy. PCBC is an open opportunity for one and all. And the good thing about it is after the change of the website, the usage of the TBC website has become so much more easy, so much more user friendly. In fact, no one needs to be very high tech to know how to operate it. At a click of a button, things will happen and things will be done. So this is what uh, admin has done through the team of technical engineers. We want to really thank admin for the powerful team, the efficient team, the responsive team that admin has set up for all of us. So we are the privileged people of PBC community. Let us share this privilege with others in our family. Let us share this privilege with others in our community so that they in turn, those who have got needs, those who are underprivileged, those who are lacking, would have their needs met, would have their lacking satisfied, and most of all, for those who have never uh, been able to get into any form of banking activities and banking facilities, let us help them raise up their standards of living, raise up uh, their values in life. So I believe I have already shared something very interesting today, and I believe that all of us would have learned something about how to use cryptocurrency and where to use cryptocurrency. Well, I have come to the end of my podcast today, and I would like to thank you once again for attending and for viewing my broadcast. Thank you, and bye bye. I will see you again tomorrow. Thank you. Bye.